Swadika and good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Nabuna.
I'm Frank Kanshi.
And we'll begin tonight with the ongoing border tensions between Thailand and Cambodia. It is not over because there are not only the clashes on the ground, but also misinformation between both sides. And the attention recently has been on this lobbyist from the US putting Thailand in a negative light and Cambodia as the victim. And this was the live stream in question showing Michael Alfaro claiming to be a White House correspondent accusing Thailand for violating the peace agreement by President Trump by putting up barbed wires along the border with Cambodia and describing Cambodian civilians as victims. And this video drew attention in Thailand after he live streamed reports from Cambodia portraying the country in a negative light amid the recent border conflicts. Thailand's Ministry of Foreign Affairs later debunked the video in question, exposing that Michael Alfaro is not a White House reporter, but rather a lobbyist and an owner of a PR company known as Capitol Hill and Friends with only 2 employees. Moreover, the information that Alfaro mentioned throughout the video was unsubstantiated and reflected only his personal opinion. And the Thai army has also checked his profile and discovered that he is not a White House reporter as claimed, nor he is affiliated with or accredited by any credible media organization. And he was allegedly hired by a Cambodian company to promote Cambodia's position in the border dispute. He reportedly met with Cambodian ministers and visited areas opposite an area in Sakeo province and in Ubon Ratchathani where he live streamed reports on the situation. And a spokesman for the Thai-Cambodian Border Situation Command Center said that Thailand adheres to universal principles of peaceful coexistence, but will not allow false information, distortion, or any provocation to undermine the nation's dignity. And if there's false information repeatedly disseminated or in a manner that it threatens national security, the Thai government will strictly and fully take action within the framework of the law and international cooperation mechanisms. And so far, the original video has been deleted on Facebook, but it has been re-uploaded on YouTube by a Cambodian user. Meanwhile, the Thai government spokesman Jirayu Hongsap initially decided to invite this lobbyist at his own expense to come to Thailand, saying that he will personally take him on an inspection tour of several border provinces, with the first stop being at a hospital where wounded Thai soldiers are being treated. And then he will take the lobbyist to the border areas where anti-personnel landmines have been laid, allegedly by Cambodian forces, and to allow him to live stream on the spot. In a Facebook post late Saturday night, the lobbyist said that he had received an invitation from the Thai government to hear Thailand's side of the dispute, which he wrote that as a reporter, it is his duty to present the truth about the border conflict from both sides to the U.S. and the world. And following the criticism, the government spokesman has abruptly withdrawn his plan after realizing that he is not a journalist.
So actually, there's another plan here, very important for Thailand and this situation too. The plan to invite the lobbyists is not going to happen, but this past weekend, Thailand's Foreign Affairs Ministry has escorted envoys from 33 countries and representatives from international organizations for a field visit to Saket province to observe areas affected by anti-personnel landmines laid by Cambodian forces, intending to show that Cambodia has violated the Ottawa Convention, which prohibits the stockpiling, use and planting of such mines. Thailand's Foreign Minister Marie Samyangpom made the appeal to the international community, particularly state parties to the Ottawa Convention, to press Cambodia to cooperate by conducting joint Thai-Cambodian demining operations. He said that the objective of the site visit is to enable the international community to witness undisputable and verifiable evidence that Cambodia has deliberately violated the Ottawa Convention. The minister said that the envoys witnessed the humanitarian toll of anti-personnel landmines on the Thai side, describing the use of such weapons as violations of Thailand's sovereignty and territorial integrity, as well as of the United Nations Charter. Thailand also stressed that despite a ceasefire agreed at the recent GBC meeting, Cambodia has continued to spread distorted information. That's why the Thai government invited foreign diplomats and media to be first-hand witnesses, underscoring its commitment to transparency and verifiable evidence. So actually, Ned, we sent our reporter from our team, Warisara Sehan, to join this media trip, of course, with 33 diplomats and envoys to Saket province. Actually, she interviewed a lot of envoys and diplomats and ambassadors too. This is what they said.
I think it's always good to try and see for yourself, get an impression. Then, of course, we have to absorb all that, digest it, and see what we conclude from it.
Well, it's always good to see things in person, to see the damage in person and how it affects people. So I think we know most of the situation because we've been informed quite properly. But I think visiting ourselves allows us to have a more personal view. Seeing how the communities are affected, I think that's a good thing to do.
I think the good thing is that we could see with our own eyes what was happening. Like you can see behind you, the building that has been destroyed and the big human suffering created as well by landmines.
Ottawa Convention, if you're a state party to the Ottawa Convention, you have to comply to the convention. And the convention says that it will not tolerate any laying of new mines, and Cambodia is just doing the contrary to that. So there's going to be an international pressure by the United Nations, by the state party to the Ottawa Convention, to pressure Cambodia to cooperate with Thailand in the demining process. That's one thing for sure. Secondly, we call on those donors to reconsider their donation to Cambodia.
And the foreign ministry spokesman also mentioned that Cambodia has violated the Ottawa Convention, and this is why these trips are organized so that the foreign diplomats get to see firsthand accounts of what really happened on the border conflicts. And we have to mention that this is already the second time that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand have invited these diplomats to witness the conflicts firsthand.
Yeah, and it's immensely important for these diplomats in invoice and media too, to go there again to understand what happened during that conflict between Thailand and Cambodia. And actually, according to so many ambassadors, they give us that statement that they want to know what happened on the ground.
Yes.
Especially for journalists too, we can really see how those houses being damaged, destroyed. It's not just the house, hospital too, and how people, those got affected on the ground. What's their life now?
Exactly. And we have to bear in mind that both Thailand and Cambodia are doing the same thing, inviting foreign diplomats to see their side of the stories of the border conflicts. But based on what they have said to reporters, they're getting to see things firsthand. Seeing this through their own eyes gives them a better understanding of what is really happening.
And better understanding of how actually Thailand's government tackle this situation right now. Despite right now we see the conflicts toning down a little bit, we have that border meeting between two countries too. But what's next is very important.
Exactly. And after a number of incidents involving landmine detonations, a senior diplomat from the Japanese embassy in Bangkok mentioned that Japan, as the president of this year's meeting of state parties to the Ottawa Convention, is committed to promoting dialogue and negotiations between Thailand and Cambodia. And Japan is also one of the countries that went on the field trip with Thailand as well. So Tatsushi Nishioka, the deputy chief of mission, who also took part in a field trip by foreign envoys this past Saturday, posted on his embassy's Facebook page, and he wrote that during the trip, he observed landmine damage, demining operations, and received briefings from officials, and he expressed his deepest condolences to the families of those who lost their lives in the recent border clashes, and expressed concern for the injured, including landmine victims and others wounded in the fighting. And he also noted that the vehicles and other equipment provided by the Japanese embassy in Thailand to demining organizations in recent years have been put to good use, and stated that Japan will continue to provide support. And he also said that he sincerely hopes that no further loss of life will result from landmines, and that peace and stability will soon be restored to the area through the genuine observance of the ceasefire agreement. And so far, Thailand reportedly submitted evidence of and reports on the violations, so the matter can be discussed when the Ottawa Convention state parties meet in Geneva this December, and Japan will chair the meeting this year as president of this convention. And there have been reports showing that Cambodia had more than 3,700 anti-personnel landmines at its disposal by the end of last year, purportedly for training purposes in compliance with Section 3 of the Ottawa Convention. And the deputy spokesman of the Thai Army actually cited this from a report by the Cambodian Mine Action Center submitted to the UN entity responsible for monitoring compliance with the Ottawa Convention. He claimed, however, that some of the landmines, including PMN2s, had been laid on Thai territory in gross violation of the Ottawa Convention. Meanwhile, the Thai military will take the Interim Observer Team, or the IOT, from 8 ASEAN countries on a 3-day field trip starting from today at the Operations Center of the 2nd Army Region. And the itinerary includes a visit to the TMAC to observe a demonstration of mine clearance, including a visit to the disputed Chong An Ma in Nam Yuen district of Ubon Ratchathani, and also another area in Kantaralak district ofศรีสะเกษ, as well as a visit to the 18 Cambodian soldiers being detained at Phnom Dongrak Hospital in Surin province as well. So this is what they have been doing in terms of the landmine operations. But we also have an update on the RBC meeting that will be taking place this month. It has been initially scheduled for this Thursday. However, it has already been postponed to next Wednesday instead. And the RBC meeting will be a meeting between regional military commanders of both Thailand and Cambodia. And this meeting usually focuses on border management and strengthening the cooperation. But we're pretty sure that the landmines will be discussed as well.
Yeah, and that's the issue, I think, because that RBC meeting has been postponed. As both countries' military level, they want to meet each other to talk about the border issues there. And of course, it's very important, as what you said, Ned, ASEAN also getting involved at this time for the landmine clear activities. And of course, ASEAN member states, their representatives will also come to Thailand too. So that will be a very important activity and movement to step forward for that regional peace. So I think RBC, of course, has been postponed to next week, but now we're still waiting for the movement this week to see ASEAN members coming in.
Exactly.
Right. So I think, of course, during that political uncertainty, regional security issues now, we got new number of our GDP growth this, Q2, which is a quite worsening signal for us because Thailand's economy is losing momentum because the NESDC, or National Economic and Social Development Council, has revised its 2025 growth forecast down to 2%, citing the impact of recent U.S. trade tariffs. So the figure released today showed that economic expanded by 2.8% in second quarter. The first quarter is over 3%, and right now we only see 2.8% in Q2. The downturn was led by weaker non-agricultural activity, particularly in tourism, very important sector for Thailand's economy, as fewer and fewer tourists come to Thailand in this quarter and this year too. And on the demand side, household and government spending cooled, while exports held firm. Investment and imports, however, gathered pace. Taken together, the economy grew 3% in the first quarter, which is pretty good because we haven't seen that tariff factor coming in first quarter and second quarter. Of course, trade performance remains at a bright spot. Exports climbed 15% to just over $84 billion US, marking a fifth straight quarter of growth. The jobs picture is steady, with unemployment edging up to 0.91%, still below last year's level. Inflation turned negative again for the first time in 5 quarters at minus 0.3%. So actually, Thailand's inflation rate didn't go up, but right now going to deflation. The current account posts a surplus of $600 billion. Foreign reserve rose to $262 billion. So actually, net, we see very big amount of foreign direct investment coming in. We see very low inflation rate, but Q1 to Q2 this year, it means that, of course, Q2 right now we see that GDP turned down to 2.8%. And also I talked to last week the Gasigong Research Center's chief economist. He warned that we might see recession in Q4. Just in Q4, but it means that, of course, second half of 2025, we might see economic downturn very fast because that tariff impact is coming in, and at this approaching level of that speed, that Thailand economy might get hit very fast.
You cannot forget the interest rates that have been cut again, which is now only 1.5%. And this is already the lowest in 2 years. So you're seeing a lot of challenges that are facing the Thai economy, whether it's the trade tariffs, everything will be affected, and now the interest rates.
You talk about interest rate, it's very important here because interest rate here, very good for us. If you buy a condo, of course, we wouldn't put 10 million in, 5 million in. Of course, we get loan or mortgage from banks, but it means that we don't pay as much as possible like before. And not aside, it means that banks, they wouldn't get a lot of revenue like before. So this is the power struggle between bankers, the borrowers and lenders here. And according to Gasigong Research Center, the chief economist Buring say that we might see recession in Q4 this year because we expect to see negative contraction, 7.5% in the second quarter, for the export volume here. Export is very important for Thailand's economy too. It's not just for tourism. As in, we already see that tourism industry is so weak right now. We talk about that. TAT, Ministry of Tourism, they target at over 35 million tourists this year, but we haven't seen that have passed through.
Exactly.
So, very important to see that. Buckle up, roller coaster coming, not just in politics or border
Not just
tensions.
politics, border tensions,
Right now
the
the economy
as well. And it looks like the government is busy trying to get away from something right now because there are still a lot of court cases going on. This Friday, there's going to be a court case involving Thaksin.
Yes.
Next Friday is going to be Judgment Day for suspended Prime Minister Pathong Thaishinawat over the leaked phone call with Hun Sen. And on 9th December, another case related to Thaksin, considering the 14th floor, his stay at the 14th floor at the
Right.
General Police General
Hospital.
Hospital. So 3 key events in Thai politics. And whatever happens, it will affect political stability.
And political economy turn too.
Yes.
Ned. Of course, right now we see you say that we will have very extensive coverage for the court day or judgment day you talk about for suspended Prime Minister Pathong Thaishinawat here. And how would that decision day or the verdict of 3 court cases you talk about, and how would that really affect economic term here? We will see that, Ned.
Exactly. And that's all for this edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. You can also follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest stories and analyses about Thailand and the region. Thanks for watching. I will see you tomorrow. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ